Good morning. How are you guys doing today? Can everyone hear me? That's the main question before we get started. Can you guys hear me okay? Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I think the levels are good, but I'm not too sure, so it's always great to check before we start babbling. All's well. Good, good. How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me today. Fairly good. Okay, good, good. I'm hoping that we get some more people in today because today's live show was actually kind of unscheduled. And I kind of messed up yesterday because I put the information out. I had scheduled it in YouTube, but I put in the wrong date. So I put in yesterday's date. So I think maybe some of you might have tried to tune in yesterday when actually it was supposed to be today. But the information did say today. So, you know, definitely I think we'll have some people trickling in here today, hopefully. For those of you that are already here, thank you for joining me. Bruce, good morning. Fat Philosopher, how are you doing, buddy? So, Fat Philosopher, did you win that auction? Fat Philosopher was bidding on a guitar yesterday. He got some gas. And we're hoping he won his auction. He'll let us know shortly, I hope. Gospel of Mark, how's it going, buddy? How are things in Maryland? Bruce, you were the first one in today. Early riser as usual. You're often the first one on the show, so that's great. I appreciate that. Hey Randy, how are you, my friend? I'm doing well. How are you? Which part of Canada, Randy? Rich, good morning. It's morning for me. It might be afternoon for a few others and even evening for a couple of you guys out there. Dan of New Jersey, how's it going, my friends? How are you? Christian, all the way in Germany. How are things over there? Other side of the pond. Wayne McDonald, good morning from British Columbia. Jeff Shields. We have a few new faces, I think, this morning. Fat Philosopher says, nah, I gave up. The seller seemed a little strange. Yeah, I've had I've had an experience with some strange sellers just yesterday. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. So who's new in the house? Who's here for the first time? Gospel of Mark says, today's going to be a good day. No snow till tomorrow, and it's my dad's birthday. Well, hey, wish your dad a happy birthday from me and all of our friends here on Addicted to Gear. Does he watch the show from time to time? Does he play guitar? What do you have scheduled for your dad? What are you getting him for his birthday? Or is he like my parents? You know, no matter what you end up getting them, they don't really need it and it ends up coming back to you. So... Going and Fat Philosopher says going to try and not buy gear until my birthday in June. Why? Are you saving for something special, Fat Philosopher? Maybe that's why you don't want to spend, or maybe you just have enough guitars. Good morning, Dan, New Hampshire. Good morning, Ed. How are you? William, Massachusetts. Never been there. I have this guitar plugged into my head rush, going through the New X MG300 today. It's a little bit bassy. Overall, the head rush gets a lot of bass, so I usually dial back as much bass as I can, but it's still a little bit bass heavy. But I'll turn the levels down a little bit. I don't want to. Always hard to get the levels. My dad is a huge music fan. Ah, that's Gospel of Mark saying this, and loves guitars but doesn't play. I got him a grandpa journal where he can write stories about his life and leave it to his grandkids. Hey, that's a nice gift. Very thoughtful gift. I like that idea, as long as he ends up doing it. Otherwise, he might just leave you an empty book. I think when you get older, you do get into the stage where you feel like, you do want to give or leave something for the grandchildren to remember you by. So I think that's a really nice gift. Jeff, it was my birthday yesterday. I got a pedal voucher. Nice. That's a nice gift. Happy belated birthday. So how old, Jeff, if you don't mind sharing? If any of you are new here today, just type in new in the chat. I just want to see how many of you are tuning in for the first time here. Bruce says, got my first dose last Monday, better than new gear. Yeah. Well, how did it go, Bruce? Did you get any side effects? I mean, that's what everybody's worried about, right? The side effects. I mean, some people claim to get like some side effects that make you feel out of it for a couple of days. My nephews in Italy both got their shots a while ago. The first one was okay, no side effects. The second one made them feel a little bit crappy, but they're doing well, so that's good news. I'm glad to hear some of those doses are getting out there. Fat Philosopher says he put up a new video, 6 reasons why Dave Mustaine went to Gibson. Wow, is there really 6 reasons? I'm pretty sure it's mostly just one, money. Hey Bruce from New York, greetings from Buffalo. Who's still suffering with snow out there? I mean, I know there was quite a few people in Texas that were kind of going through a rough patch with the snow there for a couple of days. Any of you snowed in, or are things getting better, or just give me an update on that? I mean, being in Canada, I don't really sympathize all that much, because what some of you guys, some of you guys feel that is a lot of snow, for us is like an everyday thing. So we don't really understand the big deal, but I understand that you guys don't have, some of you don't have the infrastructure to get the snow out. We do. We have like, it's almost like a military operation every time it snows. We can clear out the whole city in a couple of days, snowbanks and everything. So, I was once in New York for a trade show, and it was in the middle of, end of January. And typically, New York doesn't get much snow. Well, that day, the day I was to leave and come back home, the day before actually, I think it was, they got snow. And when I say snow, I'm talking like this much snow. Like I was still walking around in my shoes. And the whole city was shut down. New York City as a whole was shut down because of this much snow. And it was crazy because I had to find an alternate flight out. I had to try and, fix it up so I can fly in. But the whole city shut down. And for us, that would be like nothing. That would be like a good day. So I guess it's all relative, right? Dan says, no gear here either, just buying parts for my project guitars. Yeah, Dan, me too, man. I got a few projects going on right now. I'm juggling a few things. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Empty book. That was just a joke. I'm sure that the Gospel of Mark's dad won't give back an empty book. I'm sure he'll have plenty of thoughtful, little gems for his grandchildren. I'm positive of that. Fat philosopher. I can't even speak this morning. I had a rough night last night. Sorry, guys. I was huffing. I was huffing lacquer last night and early this morning. I'm working on a project guitar, and that stuff messes you up, even with a respirator. We'll talk about that in a few minutes too. Fat Philosopher says, I'm waiting to see if Two Gear rumors pan out. Ibanez releasing a lefty Jiva or Fender releasing a signature lefty. Well, that's good news for a lot of left-handed guitarists out there. They can surely use a few more left-handed models. It's slim pickings for a lot of lefties. I feel bad for them. So that would be good. We'll find out soon, I hope. Jeff says he's 55. So you're just a little older than I am. Well, happy birthday to you. The 50s are the new 40s, right? So enjoy. Tom Still, you're new. Hey, Tom. Welcome to the show. Nice to see new faces here, for sure. Kranar, how are you? Austria. How are things in Austria? Joe McCarthy, sorry. Hello, Tony. Hello, Joe. Fat Philosopher, new. Yeah. Bruce Brooks, no problems at all. That's great to hear, Bruce. I'm going to probably get the shot too whenever it's available. Just waiting. We're very slow here in my neck of the woods. The government is not very efficient at all. Mark says, I've gotten both of my doses, had side effects with both doses. Worst the second time. Yeah, that's what I hear. I guess they upped the dose the second time. Once I had a shot. I think it was for what was it for? I think it was for the swine flu, if I'm not mistaken. Remember when they were giving shots for the swine flu? Well, I got the swine flu shot, and I got a shot for bacterial pneumonia. At the same time, I swear I couldn't lift my arm for about a week. And I'm talking like super painful. They shoot you up here, right? I don't know what it was that time around, but my arm was actually, I put my arm in a sling because it was so painful whenever I would move it. And that lasted for a good week. Hope that doesn't happen again. Mark says first dose fever, second dose fever, chills, and bad body ache. So basically the same as what you would get if you get COVID. No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. My wife actually got COVID. So both her and her sister got COVID. And that was a rough patch. She had to self-isolate for a good 2 weeks. And now after she got COVID, you'd figure she'd be immune, but she's not. The doctor said you're only basically immune for about 30 days. And after that, you can catch it again. Plus now there's variations, right? So that's no fun. But even after going through COVID, she's not really sure if she wants to get the shot. So I don't know. I mean, it wasn't easy for her, but it wasn't luckily any like super bad. So a lot of people, get it really bad. So it's better safe than sorry, I say. Ed says lots of snow here, but no suffering. We're used to tons of snow, so no big deal for us here. Yeah, you're close enough to us over here, so I guess you are getting snow on a regular basis over there. Maryland, we're supposed to get more snow tomorrow. Cool Tunes Made Easy. Morning. Happy Sunday to you. Hey, thanks for turning your guitar. Oh, Wayne, you noticed. Yeah, I turned it specifically for you, and I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know why. It doesn't seem natural to turn them with the horns up, with like the Gibsons and stuff with the horns up. I don't know. It seems more natural to be pointing the other way. Like if you look at the Kramer, the tuning pegs are towards the wall. I don't really like that. So, but I did it for you. So always aim to please. I hope you're happy. Mark FX, good morning, good morning. So who else is new here? I only have one new guy here today, one new person. Come on. Bruce says, fought off gas this week by spending hours programming new patches for my Katana and Ampero. So that's a nice match. I don't have my Ampero out today. I'm using the MG, which I like a lot. Apparently they've come out with a new one. NewX has come out with MG30, which I'm trying to get because this one has great sounds in it, but the outputs are terrible. Like you can't, all you have is an input, an output for like mono, and that's it, and a USB, and an aux in. That's it. So if you want to go in with pedals, you can't really do that. If you want to go with balanced ins or outs, you can't really do that. And it's a shame because it has some really good sounds in it. So I'm hoping to get the other one, the new one, and maybe that one will do the job because I like it a lot. So what's new? Is it the Bruce is so your Katana and the Ampero? The Katana already has effects on it, but you're going through your Ampero. How do you like the Ampero so far? And does the Katana do a good job of relaying the sounds through the Ampero sounds through it? Dan says it snows every other day. In New Hampshire, it's been 25 degrees since January 1st, below zero overnight. It's normal for us to, thanks to the Canadian wind. Sorry, it's not my fault. I have a guitar in my hands because I'm so rusty. I haven't been playing guitar nearly enough. It's been like, I don't know how long it's been since the band jammed. I've had no free time, zero free time. So that's why I'm here today, is actually because I have an unexpected hole in my schedule I wasn't expecting to have today. And I was, during the last live session, I said we were going to be doing another one in 2 weeks, which is going to be next week. But I figured, what the hell, the house is quiet. There's a space in my schedule. I figured, why not have a brief show today? And even if not too many people tune in, that's all right. The hardcore Addicted to Gear members are here. I know that you guys always see whenever I post the announcements for a show. So I figured it'd be good to have a good hour or so to chit chat. And then we could probably do it again next Sunday. But you know what they say, right? You have something to do it right away, because you never know. Ed says, I'm originally from the Netherlands. If they get 2 inches of snow, the whole country is upside down in total chaos. In Buffalo, we don't get excited about anything less than a foot or two. Yeah, exactly. Same here, man. No problem. A foot or two, easily manageable. You don't stay home. There's no snow days. It's rare. Mind you, now everybody's working from home, so every day is a snow day, I guess. I like the winter too, Ed. I just don't like the cold. I don't mind the snow so much. I just don't like the cold. Like when it gets, minus 25 or so, it's not really pleasant. But, anything from like 0 to minus 15 is okay. After that, gets a little hard. Tom Sill says I'm a lefty. So Tom, are you going to be picking up any more lefty new models that are going to be released? Ed B. You're not new, Ed. Seth, San Francisco, California, saying hi. Seth, lucky man. That's one place that I haven't been to yet and I really want to visit is San Francisco. It's always been something in the back of my mind ever since I was a teenager. And I never got the opportunity to go to San Francisco, and I want to go check it out one day. So hopefully soon. I'm due for a vacation once all this mess is over. Krenner says, strict rules in my region here in Austria. I ordered a couple of lights for the channel. Excited to receive them on Wednesday. So what did you order? What type of lights? Are those the LED lights? Or definitely go LED if you can. It makes a huge difference. I used to have incandescents, which are great. I mean, the light is better with incandescents, but it gets so hot. And it's quite unmanageable. The LEDs are a little bit cooler looking, but they're much better. And they don't take much room, and they last a lot longer. The incandescent bulbs burn out all the time. So who else got some new gear? Nobody's piping up. Hey guys, man, what's going on? Nobody's spending money? Bruce says, I was playing guitar before either of you were born, LOL. Joe says, I learned years ago to take 1 aspirin after any shot that typically gave me a stiff, sore arm. No arm issues since. Well, I'll try and remember that. Because honestly, man, that wasn't pleasant. Definitely wasn't pleasant. Okay. So Wayne says it wasn't his. He didn't suggest turning the guitars around. I thought it was you, Wayne. Sorry. I guess it was someone else. The Gospel of Mark says, Tony, we need to discuss your Instagram post with that amazing hair. 2021 may be the year to bring that back. Maybe. I'm getting a little tired of short hair, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's strange. I don't know if you guys, what Gospel of Mark is referring to is I posted a picture on my Instagram. If you guys are not already following me on Instagram, I, from time to time, throw up some pictures just for fun. The link is in the, at the bottom of my videos. Anyways, I posted a video there, not a video, a photo that was taken, I believe, in probably 1987 or 88, around that time. I must have been 16, 17 in that picture, probably 17. And I remember vividly taking that picture. I had just purchased an entire series of MXR pedals, all of them. Like, you can't really see it in that picture, but there's probably about 8 of them. I basically plugged them all in. And they were all the vintage stuff, like the good stuff, like the stereo chorus with the actual plug that goes into the wall. I had the flanger, I had the phaser, I had like all the modulation effects. I think I even had the Dynacomp. I had the Distortion Plus. I remember having that one too. Anyways, I had just purchased all of those. I still had a crappy amp, so that didn't help. And I had a black Ibanez Roadstar 2, like a stealth model. Everything was black on it, all black hardware, rosewood neck, black pickguard, black pickup covers, and all that stuff. That was the first guitar, the first electric guitar I ever had. And I should never have sold that guitar. It was my mom bought me that guitar, so I feel super bad selling it. I don't know why I sold it. It was a made in Japan model too, on top of that, and it played really well. Great guitar. And anyways, so that picture, I had like quite long hair in that picture, like the mullet. That was probably the best time of my life was right after high school. I hated high school. High school was not for me. College was way better, and I just that's when I started to have fun. So. Like real fun. Fat Philosopher says, oh, forgot to tell you, my life went well except the singer ran into me on stage. Excuse me. Are you the Dan Smith from Fender? Interesting, interesting. Let's find out. Anyone here own an RG550 Genesis? I see one with Duncan's for $50 USD. Grab it, man. $50. Any guitar for $50 is good. You can definitely fix it up. Darren says, I live just north of Houston and we just got through a bad week. No power, water pipes bursting really bad. Oh, man. Yeah, that's gotta suck. Water pipes. Oh, man. When that starts happening, that's a mess. You definitely want to make sure that you have like heat in the house. If you go back and check YouTube, we had an ice storm. This is probably now 20 years ago. I still remember like it was today, where we had about 3, maybe 4 days of like rain that basically it was like wet rain, then it froze. More wet rain and it froze for about 4 days. And what ended up happening was that the hydro lines, the towers got so heavy with the ice, and all of the trees and the branches got so heavy with the ice that basically it knocked down, the entire power grid was down. These huge towers that are made of like this metal structures that are made, to support these big tower lines, they crumbled. And it was like a domino effect. They just crumbled one after another. And we were out of power. At that time, I remember I was working for a company out of the city. And we were out of power. They were out of power for almost a month. So we had we were at home, and they were trying to line up generators to try and get power back on. And I still remember today we were without heat, electricity, or anything at home for about 7 to 10 days. And it got extremely cold after about the 4th or 5th day. And so we were basically getting ready to leave, to go over to my parents' house, which had a fireplace, wood burning, which is always great to have, by the way. And that day the power came back, but we were ready to leave. A lot of people lost a lot of things, a lot of food and other things went bad. And anyway, the good news is that you can always, when it's cold, you can always throw your food outside. Unless, of course, you're living in an area where the raccoons are going to get to it, which doesn't help. Joe says, I don't mind getting cold. I don't like getting hot. Joe, I'm the same. I could deal with the cold, but getting hot is like stifling. You don't want to do anything. Your heart's pounding when it's too hot. Like you can't manage the heat. Whereas cold, you can always manage to warm up somehow. Fat Philosopher says San Francisco is cold. Compared to what? You're talking to a Canadian. Tom says, I'm still waiting for a Dan Electro 12 string from Adirondack Guitars. When did you order that, Tom? Where are the Dan Electros being made today? Are they made in overseas, or are they made in the US? Seth says, World opens, come on out. Bring a guitar for me to do a setup for ya. I'm a full-time tech at San Francisco Guitar Works. There you go. So anybody's in San Francisco, go check out Seth. Oh man, my guitar's out of tune already. I haven't played this guitar in a while. It was actually only out because I'm shooting another video for you guys. The continuation of my guitar collection, the next 3. And I wanted to evaluate this guitar. What do you guys think? Should I keep it or should I sell it? This is a vintage 335 style guitar. This is the one I did in a review. You can check my videos for that. This is an older model where the horns are not offset. I think the newer ones, they offset the horns. This is kind of closer to the original Gibson one. Great guitar, I like it, but I have a 335 Gibson, so I'm wondering, should I keep it or what? You know, I like it. I changed the pickups on it, of course. Plays nice. I can't really complain. I think the only thing I don't like about this guitar is the neck pickup is still a little bit too muddy, and from time to time it cuts out. I think I have a little situation with the wiring. I like my neck pickups to cut through, almost like as if you should take like a bridge pickup and just put it here too, you know. I like that sound. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. You guys talk me out of it or into it, whatever. Craner says 3 new LED lights. They are quite small and they also have these color filters. I got 3 of them for around 60 euros. That's not bad. As long as they last, you know, sometimes they end up coming from China and then, you know, something gives out, like the wall wart gives out or something like that, and then you're kind of stuck, you know. And it's also good to get the ones that are adjustable with, they have a little knob in the back, so that you can actually adjust the output of the lights, because sometimes they're just too bright for your space. Cool Tunes Made Easy says, kind of researching my first Telecaster, taking my sweet time. Ah, Cool Tunes is gonna grab a Tele. What? Why did you wait so long to grab a Telecaster, man? They're great guitars. You need a few. Mark says, I got a new used delay pedal for my gigging acoustic board. It's the T-Rex Emmy. Hey, that's my daughter's my daughter's name is Emma, so that's cool. It's a delay boost in one, so I can hit it for solos instead of having to hit my clean boost and then delay. Yeah, that's what you were telling me about last live show. That's what you were looking for, so that's cool. Yeah, I mean, if you can tap one pedal and get what you need as opposed to tap dancing, that's the best, right? How's the delay on it? Is it what you were looking for? Does it sound good? My benchmark for a delay pedal that sound good or that are good is if I can get a really nice slap back delay that sounds good, like really, like pretty quick slap back, like ta 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 ta, you know, that quick. And that sounds good. Some pedals can't do it. Some pedals just don't give you that. But if I can get a good range with a good slap back, I'm happy. Jeff says Amazon just delivered a TU3 and a little BCB30 pedal board. So you're in business, Jeff. Nice. You got your... are those the first pedals you're going to put on the board, or do you have like other pedals already on it? Sorry if I'm falling behind, guys. I think I'm falling behind in the messages, but if I skipped anybody, my apologies. Of course, if you want to support the channel, you can always grab some swag. I always say that. Help yourself. That always helps me out. Nothing new for gear, but did get rid of a Gibson Les Paul and an Ibanez RG. Now I'm looking for a new head. Never ending. I hear you, Rich. I'm also looking for a new head. I don't know why I laughed at that. That was a little awkward, but yeah. So I'll tell you what I'm looking for, guys. I came like super close to buying this. Please talk me out of it. I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm telling you. But I've been gassing over the Marshall Plexi Studio Vintage. These amplifiers, I don't know if you've seen, they've been out for about a year or two now. They're not new. I didn't grab one when they just came out, but I don't know why. I just keep looking at them. I keep gravitating towards them. I don't know why, but I'm a Marshall guy. I like the Marshall tone, and I've been looking for that Marshall tone, and I bought a few amps. You know, the Dirty Shirley, great Marshall tone, but it doesn't clean up all that well. That's why they call it the Dirty Shirley, right? It starts from like early breakup all the way to really nice saturation if you can crank it. Of course, it's 40 watts, very loud. I did get the Brunetti Plexi Man, which is also a great Italian-made Plexi style amp. But it's made in such a way where it's like that amplifier is like a modded. You can actually go clean all the way to like hot rodded modded Plexi with that one, which sounds great. And it's a really great amplifier. But I've owned Marshalls before. I've owned quite a few. I've had the reissue Plexi, which I ended up selling. I bought myself a hand-wired Rocket Retro Marshall, which was great. I ended up selling that one because it was just too loud. I had a JCM 800 for a while. That one sounded fantastic, but it was just too loud. I had a JCM 900 at one point, a combo. There's an early video in my videos of that one as well, which I ended up selling. I had a JCM 2000, and that one was probably one of my least favorite Marshalls. So I've had quite a few Marshalls that have come and gone. My favorite was by far the Rocket Retro one, but it was just too darn loud. So, you know, I felt like if I couldn't get something that has like half the power, that would be perfect. And then Marshall came out with the Studio Plexi, and it's 20 watts, could go all the way down to 5 watts. And even at 20 watts, all the videos that I've seen on this amplifier basically say how loud it is, even at like 20 watts. So don't feel like 20 watts won't cut it. It's gonna definitely cut it. So I'm thinking, 20 watts, fantastic. Goes down to 5 watts, even better for home use. One channel, no master volume, basically, what a Plexi should be. So whenever you're dealing with an amplifier that has a master volume like the Black Star that I have, great for saturation, but there's something about having a master volume in the circuit that changes things. And really, the old Marshalls, if you wanted to get that crunch and saturation, you had to crank them, and you had to move air. So I'm thinking this one might be something that I want to grab. But guys, please talk me out of it. Well, 20 watts is loud. The Black Star is about that wattage, and yeah, it gets very loud. I had a Blues Junior that was extremely loud if you cranked it. So in the olden days when they would say, 100 watts is not enough, they were talking like live performances, unmiked. Nowadays you don't need that. You really don't. So you really want to scale back the volume, and 20 is plenty, even with a band, let me tell you, especially for a Plexi. And this one is like typically the same. It's got the 4 inputs that you can jumper, so you can build up the girth. The only issue is they're out of stock in a lot of places. So I probably will have to see where I can order this from. I would have to order it online, and I would have to order it sight unseen. So I'm a little hesitant because I really do want to, hear it first. But the good thing about ordering ahead as opposed to a combo is that you can plug it into different cabinets. And in the back of me here, I have like a 1x12, I have a 2x12, a 2x12, a 4x12 with all different, speaker combinations in them. So I'm sure I would be able to find the right combo. And it does have the effects loop in the back. So the older ones didn't have the effects loop. Now these ones, they're integrating the effects loop and it's switchable. So if you don't want to have it in the circuit, you can take it out. If you want to go with your pedals in the front of it, you can. If you want to ultimately go through the effects loop, then you can do that too. And for me, having a little bit of reverb and a little bit of delay in those with those amps is ideal because they just sound great with a little bit of reverb. It just makes it sound huge. So I'm leaning towards going for that and getting that. I was actually trying to liquidate some stuff to pay for it. But I have a feeling that I'm going to grab it. They don't come up used all that often. I've tried. There was one that came up used for a while, like a brief minute, and was sold. So basically, gone. I just didn't grab it quick enough, and it was gone. But I definitely want to grab another one. So you will probably be seeing that one soon. And the funny thing is, I always do my research on the amps, and I like to look at the reviews. And unfortunately, a lot of people that have reviewed that amp, they do that through like attenuators or through IR. Just basically load boxes where they're not actually moving air, they're not miking it. And so you don't get a really good representation. Sometimes they sound fizzy in the videos, which I don't like, and I was kind of hesitant about that. So I actually tried to find some videos of a review that was not done that way. And the only one that actually did a really good review was Dave Simpson. If you guys follow Dave's channel, he's a fellow that likes to do reviews. I think he's in the UK someplace. And so he borrowed the amplifier from a friend of his, and he did a demo of it, and he cranked it, right? And you can tell that it was actually like mic'd up because he had earplugs in and everything, right? And you should have seen his smile. he had a smile ear to ear after playing that thing, and he was like raving how much he loved it. And it wasn't his. It was basically someone else's that had lent it to him, right? And so, he got the pleasure of playing it. So then he's a very funny character, so I like to watch his videos. And he actually, I went back into another video that he had done about 4 years earlier, and that video was called something like why he prefers solid state amps. So obviously that's, that train of thought has changed over time because he was raving how much he loved the Marshall and how much he wanted to get it, So tastes change, and that's something that I'm going to probably end up biting the bullet for and getting, But it's super funny to see how things, in my opinion, I mean, I've tried solid state amps, and we always go back to this discussion, and I know a lot of you probably won't agree, but I've tried solid state amps. Some of them are really good. I've had like the typical, PV Bandit and a few other amps that I've tried, including the Katana and some other things. And although they're not bad, I mean, they're really not bad. They're just not the same. There is a different harmonic distortion that you get through a tube that you don't really necessarily get through a transistor. They are getting closer though. And a lot of them, with your pedals and different things, and once the drummer kicks in, who cares, right? They do sound great. They're reliable. They don't break down as easy, and they're very affordable. So there's no reason why, not to get a solid state amplifier if that's what you're after. I'm not dissing solid state at all, and I wouldn't hesitate to get another blues, another PV Bandit, because I think they sound pretty good. But at the same time, there's just a richness and a warmth to tubes that I like, and so for me, that's the difference. It's subtle, but it's there. And I think it's just, a question of taste at the end and what you really need. And some of us just can't crank it. You can't really crank it at home. So solid state could be the answer because you could get whatever saturation you need at a lower volume, you know? And they're lighter too, so they're easier on the back. All right, that was my little rant. So you guys didn't talk me out of it, so thanks a lot, guys. Or maybe some of you did. Let me go back to the comments here. I don't know, I missed a few. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, man. When I start talking, I miss a whole bunch of comments. So let me start from the bottom and work my way backwards. So Rico, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Quicksilver. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Quicksilver. What's going on? Quicksilver says, isn't there no lockdown in Australia? I don't know. Is there a lockdown in Australia? Hey, and the Blues is here. Okay, that's why we're asking this question. Okay. Hey, Shane, how's it going? Yeah, you guys don't seem to be locked up, which is great, I guess. What's going on? You guys are doing it right, I guess. Dan Smith says, plus, is that the 20-watt Marshall series? Yeah, it's made in England. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, Awa. Mantap. What does Mantap mean? I did a video, reaction video, not Alip Bata, and everybody is saying Mantap to me, and I don't know what that means. Can you just explain? I should have looked it up. Fat Philosopher says, will there be a Blues Jam collab this year? Blues Jam? With who? With Shane? He's too good for me. He's going to make me look bad. Jeff says he's a good lad. Is Dave Simpson? He has nipped over to live in France for a while, following his dreams. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Well, you know, England, France, they're all close together. That's the cool thing about living in Europe. You're like a couple of hours away from different continents, so pretty easy to move around. I remember seeing Blue Share at the Fillmore East in the 60s. They lined up the aisle with 100-watt Marshall stacks, loud. So how much of your hearing did you lose that day, Bruce? Joe says, Paul says, cheer up, I ordered a guitar November 2019 from China. It is locked down in the airport warehouse because of C-19. Yeah, and there's also the Chinese New Year, right? So that's going on too, so that doesn't help. Shane says, nearly 3 a.m., got home late after playing live. Do you hear the buzzing in your ears, Shane? That's one thing I miss. I miss coming home after a jam, lying in bed and just hearing like, you know that feeling? Do you get that, or do you protect your ears, Shane? Because ever since, I don't know how long it's been, but my left ear, always ringing. It's not good. So definitely protect your hearing. And it's not even the amps. It's the freaking drummers. I was standing next to the drummer and he was wailing away on the cymbals. And the cymbal happened to be on this side. And it's the high frequencies that get you, man. I'm telling you. So I owe him one. Oh, Mantap is Indonesian for great. Oh, thanks, man. Cool. Thank you. So Shane says, yeah, let's jam, man. Cool. Do I come there or do you come here? How do we do it? I got to make my way to Australia. I'm scared of the spiders. We don't have spiders here. At least not big ones like you guys have. Richard says, from last week, Katana is OTW. Thanks. Love my Cube amp and the Boss pedals. Cool. Shane says, yep, I do hear it in my left ear a little, but I put some background noise on. I wear earplugs when I'm around live music, but not when playing it. Yeah, I do that too, especially when you go to like any parties where they're pumping the music really loud. I wear a plug in at least one ear, so I just try to hide it so I don't look weird. But you have to do it, man, because once it's gone, it's gone. Entertaining review of the Studio Vintage by Elmo Karjalian. I can't even pronounce it. A very cool guy. He does not hold back on the volume or comment output. I'm telling you, Shane, it's the drummers, man. If you pay attention where you're standing, I bet you the drummer is like, on the left side of you, and that's why you're getting the ringing in your ears. I find with ringing, I had taken some supplements at one point to help, and it did help for a while, but it comes back if you're not careful. Thankfully, we haven't jammed in a while because of COVID, so it hasn't gotten worse. But whenever we play, it gets friggin' loud. So we can't control ourselves. I don't know what it is. It's like we start really low, and then a little louder and a little louder, and by the end of the night, forget it, man. Quicksilver says he still has all his followers on the other side of the camera, which is amazing. Sorry, who are we talking about here? Are we talking about Elmo now? I lost track. Shane says, we only have 8 to 10 worst spiders in the world. You'll be fine. Yeah, what about the snakes? I'm going to bring a big can of bug spray with me. That's the great thing about living in Canada. The cold weather kills everything, right? So it's like it resets every year, so the spiders don't get an opportunity to get too big, which is the way I like it. We just have to worry about bears. That's all. Well, not where I am, anyways. Rico says, Tony, last week you teased a new item to reveal. Did I miss it? No, you did not miss it. I haven't done it yet. It's coming. I've been working on a couple of videos, but you know what's been taking all my time? Work. There's a couple of sideline projects that I have that are not related to this channel that just are taking up my time. And believe it or not, guys, I'm working on like 3 or 4 separate like guitar builds at the same time that I think I told you about. So there's the butterscotch telly that I'm putting together. That one actually has taken a back burner to the new telly that I'm trying to put together, and that is going to be the pine, with that 100-year-old pine body that I showed you guys last time. That's what I'm putting together now. So there was a couple of technical issues because that's why I was huffing the lacquer yesterday and today. I'm telling you, that thing's giving me heart palpitations. Too much fumes are not good for you, man. But I want to get this thing going, and I only get an opportunity to spray anything in my garage when the house is free of my wife, because my wife has a nose like a bloodhound, and if I spray anything, she gives me heck. So when she's not around, which happened to be yesterday, I sprayed a whole bunch of, I sprayed the body with some sealer, with some primer, and I wanted to get it done and start spraying the actual tint on the body, but I didn't get a chance to do it yet. So I'm letting that cure a little bit, and then I'm going to do the actual color. And so you guys probably already know that I ordered some colors because I wanted to do a purple metallic paint on that guitar. And I ordered some colors from one source, which was Great Lakes Custom Guitars, which make great products for finishing your guitar. Unfortunately, the color that I thought would be the right color was not. And I showed you this before. This was this color. See? I don't know if you can see. It's purple, but it's not the right purple. Well, I spoke to another friend of mine, Don, at Oxford Supplies, and he agreed to mix me a color that was closer to what I want, and that's the top color here. So can you see the difference? Quite a difference in color, a lot darker. So this is what I'm going to be spraying. And if you guys are looking at making a purple metallic sparkle Telecaster or other guitar, and you want that color, that's the color that he's currently selling because of me. He mixed it for me. He should actually name it Addicted to Gear Purple, don't you think? I think he named it like Royal Purple or something like that, which is good too. Anyways, so that's the color I'm going to be spraying. But I have to make sure the body is prepped perfectly, because otherwise, if you guys have worked on guitars, it's easy to hide finish blemishes if you're doing like a transparent color. Stuff like that, it's a little bit easier. When you're doing metallics, it's very difficult. If you mess up, it's hard to fix it afterwards, because everything shows up especially with the metal flakes. You can't really see it on this sample, but in real life, it's very reflective. So depending on how you look at the guitar, it'll change or get like deeper or lighter depending on how it's hitting the light. So anyways, I'm gonna try this for the first time, and I want to get that guitar built, because I have basically everything that I needed, except the stuff that I ordered from Stu Mac, which is taking forever to get here. I don't know why. And I when I get started, I want to build it quick, and I want to put it together. So that's kind of delaying the project, but it's okay, because we have to make the lacquer cure. Like usually you don't want to handle a guitar that's sprayed in lacquer for a couple of weeks at least, until it hardens properly. So I figured if I spray it now, let the lacquer harden, then do the top coats, because the top coats is really what protects the guitar. Do a bunch of top coats, and then, but it's probably gonna be, I'm gonna say, a couple of weeks at least a month if I get cracking on it, before you guys are gonna be able to see the finished product. But I want to get going. I want to see it. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just want to see what it looks like. And I think the pine is going to be amazing. I've had a pine Telecaster in the past, and it was great. So I'm looking forward to another one. And that's not the reveal, by the way. That's just the project that I'm working on. But I just wanted to say, like, Stu Mac, the price that they're charging for their parts and stuff with the shipping, I mean, it should have got here the next day, for the amount of money I'm paying for shipping. So I'm a little miffed with that. And you can't put the guitar together until you have everything. So, I gotta wait. But in the meantime, that project's coming together. Then there's the reveal I want to talk to you about too, which I'm working on a video for that. And then at the same time, there's another Strat style guitar that I had lying around, which I'm modding, and I'm considering also repainting a different color. But that's not going to happen soon, because I have another 335 that I put together as well. Plus there's another Les Paul style guitar that I wanted to put together that is waiting also. So I've got plenty of like things to keep me busy, but all these things are distracting me from making videos. So I got to concentrate on making the videos for you guys, because you need new content, right? Let me go back to some of the comments here. Okay, so you guys basically are not talking me out of getting the Marshall. I got the Gospel of Mark that says get it. So you guys are no help. I'm glad you guys are not my support group for like Alcoholics Anonymous or any kind of substance abuse, or I'd be in big trouble. So I hope that kind of answered your question, Rico. Yeah, there's another one coming. There's another reveal coming soon. Ed says, I like Elmo's reviews. Richard says, OTW, on the way, in case you guys were wondering. Quicksilver says, I guess, but he did catch a bit of flack when he left in November, October. The 90 days ran out, and I guess there was no backup plan. Sorry, I missed the thread on that one. Krenner says, do you shoot your videos on 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second? I'm trying to nail down the video aspects. And I believe he's asking Shane that question. Katana on the way, so Richard is happy about that. Is that the Katana 2 or the one? Is that the new one, or did you buy it used? You know, guys, I was going back to the idea of like buying something new. Here in Canada, we have basically two big chains. We have Steve's and we have Long and McQuaid. And Long and McQuaid is a national, well, a Canadian chain. They got stores all over Canada. They're not small. And every year they announce this, what they call mega sale. And I think I even have it on my phone because, you know, you visit their website and then you're getting like bombarded by all kinds of emails, like forever, advertising this sale, right? So I figured, you know what, I'm looking to buy a new guitar head. So let me check out the sale, right? So they call it and I quote, this is what they're announcing on social media. It says, it's our inventory blowout sale. Take advantage of huge deals. Great savings online and in store, plus 12 months, 0% financing. And then they announce curbside pickup. And then they also state the time. It's all, you know, basically all week long. It's a 1 week hoopla thing. So I went to their website and I said, let me take a look and see what they have on sale. They have items on sale, but it's like, you know, $2 off a set of drumsticks, or, you know, $1.50 off some strings, or, you know, a couple of bucks off some equipment that nobody wants. So I'm like, where are the deals? This is supposed to be a mega thing, right? So anyways, I call them and I ask them whether or not they have any deals on this Marshall, right? Because they do announce it on their website. They do carry it. So the girl looks into the computer and she's, you know, typing away, and she looks, and after like 5 minutes says, sorry, sir, there's no deals on this amplifier. I'm like, nothing? Not even like a 20% discount, 10%, nothing. She's like, no. But you can buy the amplifier and get 0% financing for a year. And I said, well, that's not a bad thing, right? If I'm not going to get a deal out of it, I might as well pay it later. I'm like, all right, so that's cool. How do I take advantage of it? Then she's typing in the computer and she's like, oh yeah, sorry, sir, you can't take advantage of that because it's out of stock. All right, so that's no good. So they have this mega event with like nothing that you want to buy. And I actually noticed that they raised the prices just before the event anyway. So it's basically a BS event, and it's really frustrating because you figured, you know what? If they want to make business and they want to support and get people in the door, especially during COVID, they should do something a little bit better than this. And so if I buy an amplifier here in my province, I get charged 2 different taxes. If I order it from Ontario and have it shipped here, I only pay 1 tax, which basically will save me about 150 bucks. So why would I buy something here, you know, with kind of BS deals like this, when I could save myself at least 150 bucks and order it somewhere else, and probably get a deal if I'm nice to them on the phone too, you know? Plus it's free shipping. I don't pay anything for shipping. There's no duties because it's in Canada. So if these guys don't step up the game, they're not going to be around too long. Sorry for like, you know, speaking my mind, but I had to say it. Doesn't make sense, you know. Fat Philosopher says, instead of getting the Marshall, make me a lefty guitar instead. Hey, order your parts, ship them to me, and I'll see what I can do. I'm missing some comments here. Let me go back. Tony, this week I bought a Cusack Music Screamer V2 pedal thanks to someone from last week's live stream. Have you played one? No, I have not. Sorry, I did not. A live music screamer, is that like the equivalent of a tube screamer? How much did you pay it? Just curious. Get a respirator. I got a respirator. Joe says get a respirator. I think he's referring to painting and huffing the... trust me, when you're dealing with nitro, you don't want to be spraying that stuff without a respirator. It's nasty stuff. But even with the respirator, it's you gotta leave the doors open. You gotta get some circulation happening. And in the winter, you can't really do that because it's too cold and it makes the nitro not flow properly. And it also blows dust around, and then you get dust in the finish, and you don't want that. Bruce says, I don't remember what they were called, but I had these special earplugs I wore when gigging that allowed everything through at normal volumes and gradually kicked in as dB levels increased. There's a company called Emotech that makes those. They're very good. I have a set. You can actually choose the decibel filter you can put in. So depending on how much attenuation you want. But even a little bit helps. But I had my my hearing protection custom molded. Very similar to those, except they're more comfortable. If you go to an audiologist, they'll do that for you. Yeah, Rico, Addicted to Gear Purple. What do you think? We should start a petition. I'll send it to Don. Sorry, I'll send it to Don at Oxford Supply. Maybe he can. ATG grape. That could work. That could work. Bruce says, just be careful with the pine. Very soft wood and will dent easily. That's part of the reason why I got it, Bruce. This was supposed to be like a kind of a relic guitar, but I'm not actually going to relic it like on purpose. I'm just going to play it, and it's going to relic very nicely on its own because it is pine. And because I'm using nitro, it won't chip. You're not going to get ugly chips flaking off. It's just going to, you know, wear and just wear naturally. You'll probably see like the wear just from playing it. And yeah, that'll be like the natural relic. Strat 5150 says, why aren't there more 339 size semi-hollows? It sounds the same and way more comfortable. That's true. It is true. I don't know why there isn't. I think people are just used to seeing this shape. I think they're just used to that. But I agree. You know, I really like this type guitar with the block inlays, the vintage block inlays. I wish there would be more of those. Gibson's doing it as a custom shop thing and charging an arm and a leg, but you know, the dots are fine, but I like the blocks. I was listening to Walter Trout in the car yesterday. Haven't listened to him in a while. Definitely have to listen to more of him. I put it on when I'm working on the guitars. It inspires me to build them a little quicker. You guys know Walter Trout? If you don't know him, you got to listen to some of his stuff, man. He's got like the tone of, almost the tone of ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons type thing. Definitely blues, and he can wail on that guitar, man. The early stuff, probably a little bit better than the more recent stuff because it's more edgy. But yeah, man, that guy can play. He reminds me a lot of Gary Moore as well. Cool Tunes Made Easy says, never seen good deals at Logan McQuaid. Me neither, man. That's why I stopped going there. I tend to visit used guitar shops more than new because they have better stuff all around. You can get deals on vintage gear, some really nice looking guitars, and you're helping the smaller shop, you know. You walk into one of these Long and McQuaid's, they have all the same stuff. They have no variation in terms of amplifiers and stuff that they carry. It's boring, you know. If you're looking for something that's a little bit not mainstream, you're not going to find it there. Seth says, Tony, you really got to try installing 2 output jacks and splitting the signal out to 2 amps. Add in a volume pedal on one of the amps and bam, you've got blending control. Yeah, I got to try something like that. I also want to try like setting up a wet dry rig. I don't know if you guys have ever tried that, where you have the dry signal coming through your main amp and then you have a smaller side amp with just wet, and it sounds huge. And you can do this with a little amplifier. You don't need a big amplifier to do this. Even if you have like a small, like 1x12 or something like that, you can really get like an amazing tone out of it. But you have to be able to have a reverb pedal that can actually just output only the signal with no dry signal in it, only the wet. If you have that, it's pretty easy to do. Sorry guys, I'm just scrolling and trying to catch up with the comments here. Paul says, Tony, Long McQuaid, 0 deals, and for the last year, not a single product that I wanted was available. And just for curiosity, I looked several times. Still 0. In the States, 3 months wait is tops. See, that's the thing. And every time you want to get something that is a little bit out of the ordinary, you have to order it because they don't have it in the store. So you don't even have an opportunity to try it. You know, it's like I'm not the type of guy to order a guitar sight unseen or to order an amp sight unseen unless there's no choice. I prefer not to do that. So Rico says it's an overdrive pedal. I paid $125 plus $10 taxes on reverb. In the Blues did a review on the pedal. Check it out. Yeah, I'll do that, man. Thanks. I don't really need another like tube screamer style pedal. I have quite a few, and honestly, the TL pedal one that I have, the honker, scratched my itch for tube screamers. That one has enough like gain and enough control that I don't know. I haven't found something better so far. So. Cool Tunes Made Easy says Long McQuaid, rent some gear, not all. Yeah, exactly, and nothing that you want. You know what I would like to rent from them would be a Fender Princeton. They don't have. I think they have a deluxe. They usually, even the deluxes, they usually don't carry. Sometimes all they have is the hot rod deluxes, which are, you know. Marshall, I think they have one. I think it's a JCM 800, and it's a head. Nothing else. No Mesa, no nothing. It's just like, and they have some trainer apps, which I don't know. So yeah, it's not that fun. I mean, Jeff says Saul Walter trod a few years back in a small venue in Birkenhead in the UK. His playing is ferocious. Yeah, and the guy's got, you know, he went through some rough patches there. He had I believe he had a liver transplant. He was on the verge of dying recently. If he was not going to get a liver transplant, I think it was, you know, he suffered with alcoholism and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of the new music that he's been writing now is, you can hear it in the lyrics, you know, that he's what he's referring to. It was on the edge for him there for a while. I'm glad we didn't lose him. And I hope he's doing well. Henry says, Tony, which right set of strings for a semi-hollow, 335 or 339? Which right set of strings? Dude, I play the same strings that I play on my electrics on the semi-hollow. I basically stick with the Ernie balls. Hybrid slinky for me. That's what I usually go with. And they work fine. Sometimes if they're out of stock, I'll get the Diodarios or something like that. But I've been playing Ernie ball for a long time. I haven't played that in ages. I don't want to get demonetized, but we probably will anyway, so what the hell. It said, Tony, I got a K-Line Pure Sky Timmy clone. Love it so far. I've tried that one. I actually did. I had it for a while. It wasn't a bad one. It just sounded... It was basically doing stuff that my other pedals were already doing, so I didn't keep it. But yeah, it's not a bad one. Fat Philosopher says, the problem is none of those stores allow foreigners to buy on monthly installments. Yeah, that's true. That would be a great thing. I mean, I think we would definitely sell more gear if people could pay it off a little at a time. It's hard enough to get a sub $400 guitar online, new, to do a project on. Everything is on back order these days. Even all the used seems to be coming from Japan on eBay. Yeah, and the prices are all going up, guys. I don't know if you noticed this, but everything's going up. I noticed that. I mean, even the stuff being sold locally, it's all like being pumped up. I guess because people figure, yeah, you can't get it on, you know, you're not going to be getting it from the store, so this is my chance to sell stuff. I used Harley Benton 11s on my guitar. They're honestly great. $150 for a pack. Wow, that's cheap. I wonder who's private labeling them for Harley Benton. It's $150 for a pack, but then if I would order it, how much would I have to pay for shipping and duties and everything else? Tolman might allow monthly payments if you rig the system just right. If you rig the system just right, yeah. Let me know when that's done. I'll jump in with you. We'll split the cost. There is a neck through double cut Agile 3200 on sale at Rondo Music. Double cut. Interesting. Are you gonna grab it? I don't think I'm going to grab it. I'm not really looking for another guitar at the moment. I'm actually looking to probably liquidate a few of my guitars. I just can't get around to figuring out which ones I want to liquidate, but I want to raise some scratch for that Marshall. I want to try to anyways. Yeah, I got to tell you this funny story, guys, because you know, everybody's looking for deals. We're talking about deals and how there's not that many to be had, right? So I've been looking at, now that I've been working from home, I do a lot of video meetings on a daily basis. And it's a pain when, you know, there's noise in the house and stuff like that. So I want to have some headphones to be able to, you know, basically hear clearly. The speakers on my work laptop suck. They're really terrible. So I don't really hear people talking all that well, so I wanted to basically get a set of headphones. And so I wanted to get a set of the iPod Pros, right? Because they have noise canceling and stuff like that. Plus, you can use them to talk into your phone and all that kind of stuff. But they're really expensive. You know, they're much more expensive than I'm willing to spend. They're like almost $300 with taxes, and it's like a lot of money for something I'm probably going to lose in a week. So I was looking for a deal on a set of used ones, or new in the box kind of thing, right? Because there's a lot of people selling those things. So anyways, I looked on my local online like Kijiji and stuff, came across a guy advertising a set that was new in the box, and apparently he had the receipt and everything. So I said, okay, whatever. And he wasn't asking for that much. It was like basically half price. So I said, okay, perfect. But I mean, there's so many fakes going on, especially with these headphones, these Apple headphones. Like the majority of the ones that you see are fake. So I wasn't really sure. But I texted the fellow. He answered me back. I said, hey, do you have the receipt? He said, yes. I said, do you have Apple Care? Did you get Apple Care for it? He said, yes. He sent me a shot of the serial number. I punched it in and it seemed to be legit. But there was a couple of things that were like, I got that feeling. When you get that feeling, you know that there's something up. So I decided to go check it out anyway. Went to check it out. And, he gave me an address, right? And he says, I'll be there. Like, could you be there in an hour? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I thought this was his house, right? But when I got there, like there is no address for this number. And so I'm parked in front and I'm giving him a call and I'm like, where are you? I'm here. And he's like, oh, I'm on my way. I'm like, I thought this was your house. He's like, no, it's the park. So I'm parked, there's houses on this side and there's the park on that side. That makes sense why there's no address, because it's a park. So already that's another red flag right there. Then he gets out of his car and there's like three young guys like getting out of this car. That's another red flag right there. And so then I'm asking him, okay, so like, let me see it. And, it's still shrink wrapped and everything. I'm like, okay, show me the receipt. And his friend pulls out, the receipt on his iPad. And I'm like, well, when did you buy this thing? And he's like, a couple of days ago. And I'm like, so you bought this thing a couple of days ago. You didn't open it. Now you're selling it. Why are you selling it? He's like, oh, I want to get the more expensive headphones. I'm like, okay, so when did you buy it? I ask him for the date. He's like, oh, a couple of days ago. So I'm like, why does your friend have the receipt and you don't have the receipt? This is on your iPad. There's no date on the receipt. So I'm like, okay, let me open it and let me just try it to make sure everything works. He's like, no, I can't open it. I'm like, why can't you open it? He's like, oh, because then if you don't buy it, I'm like, well, do you expect me to buy something that, I don't know what it is? Like there could be rocks in that box, He's like, oh, sorry, I can't open it for you, So I'm like, well, what are you worried about? He's like, well, what if you don't take it? I'm like, I'm here to buy it. Why wouldn't I take it? I'm like, if the serial number matches, the serial number on the box matches with the item once I put it into my phone, we're in business. I'll give you the money. It's all good. No, sorry, I can't do that. So I had to walk away. So I wasted my time. Guaranteed those were fakes. Guaranteed they were trying to pull a scam on me or something. So basically you have to go with your gut, and the best thing is just to buy them directly from the store. Yeah, you got to pay them more, but it's the only real way you're going to make sure you're getting something that's legit, because otherwise you don't know. The fakes are so good these days, except for the sound, right? But in terms of the box, the look, you can buy a fake set that look exactly like the real thing. But I need something that sounds good. So there's my story. Sorry for boring you with that, guys. Paul says, Tony, Steve's has many products for years at the store. I first checked online, it wasn't listed. I complained in writing, you're losing sales. It occurred 3 times, 0 reply each time. Yeah, because you're dealing with a chain, Paul. This is a big chain that, they don't really care. This is the volume that they're going to buy for the year, and that's it. They're not going to really go out of their way. That's why, if you can't get it there, just get it somewhere else. When they start losing money, they're going to realize that, they got to do something. It's just a matter of time. I mean, how many times are you going to waste your time going there? I can't tell you the amount of times that I went in looking for something specific, asked the guy, do you have this? Yeah, it looks, doesn't have it. Or, call him and ask him specifically, do you guys carry this? Yeah. Go there, they don't have it. I mean, I'm not going to waste my time anymore, Quicksilver says, I was just joking, but I recall one time when payment for something I ordered didn't clear because my credit card expired, and Tolman just shipped the guitar on an open invoice. Wow. Okay. That's taking a risk. I mean, if you weren't honest, a lot of people would just say, hey, I never got it. Strat 5150 says, I have the single cut. It looks just like it. Put good pickups in it, and it's fantastic. That philosopher, you were asking, how do you rig the system? Which system? Okay, you're talking about what Strat 5150 said. Jeff says, I'm getting some heat here, guys. Help me out. Tell my wife 43 pedal collection isn't excessive. It's not, man. Come on. How many shoes does your wife have? I'm curious. Probably at least, 40 or so, right? Just do what I do, Jeff. Just say they're not mine. A friend of mine lent them to me. Quicksilver says $400 fakes in Austria. What the F? $400 fakes? Yeah, they're not cheap, man. So what's this now? So Cranar says, I wrote to him acting dumb, asking him if his stuff was legit. He said yes. I asked how many of these have you sold. His answer was around 400. Okay, what are we talking about here, guys? We're talking about fake something. There's a scammer that sold 400 fake Gibsons in Austria, and I reported him, and his listings were taken down. Scared to get a used Gibson around here. If you don't know what you're looking at, yeah, definitely. And if the guy is trying to sell you something and if he's not telling you straight off it's a Gibson, I agree. That's no good, because obviously, but you know what? If the guy's trying to sell a Gibson and it's listed at $400, you already know it's fake, right? I mean, you're not going to find a $400 Gibson. So right off the bat, that should be a clear indication that you're looking. It's a fake guitar. Oh, here comes trouble. Here comes trouble. All right, come here. Give me some love. Give me some love. So that's the first thing. That being said, like if you're scamming somebody and trying to sell them something as being legit, no good. Although there is a big market for people looking at stuff that is not legit, just to be able to get like the look and feel of the guitar at a much lower cost, right? And if you know it's not legit and you're still willing to risk it and buy the guitar, hopefully it's a good one, you could be quite happy with something like that. But on the other hand, the guy has to be honest. It's only happened to me once. It's only happened to me once where I went to someone's house. He had a Gibson for sale, and the picture was a little hazy, wasn't very clear. Guy wasn't really responsive, but the price was good. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to go check it out because price is too good. You never know, right? Maybe it's a good deal. So I went and took a look at it. He had it hanging on his wall. I took it down, and within literally 4 seconds, I could tell it was a fake. And I told him, I said, this is a fake Gibson. And he played dumb. He's like, oh, really? I must have gotten had. I didn't realize that. I bought it from somebody and he said it was real. So, you know, whether or not that's true or not, we'll never know. That's his story. He's sticking with it. But I mean, you can easily just open up the truss rod, take a look at that. Usually the truss rods are not going to be the same as what you have in a Gibson. You can even smell the difference. I mean, honestly, when you smell a Gibson, the new ones anyways, they smell kind of like vanilla. The old ones, the fake ones definitely do not smell like that. You can open up the cavity in the back. Usually they're not clean. You can tell, you know, what they look like. You can tell this by the size of the pots. You can see whether or not they're using metric or imperial fittings. The tuners usually are sketchy. A lot of times the nut is not bone. There's a million different things. I mean, just looking at it, you can tell, you know. So, in my opinion, you know, if you don't know what you're looking at or you don't have the experience to know what you're looking at, definitely bring somebody who does. Bring somebody that owns a Gibson. You'll be able to just the feel of the neck, the feel of the profile, the angle of the headstock, all these things, you know. They're all like telltale signs. Yeah, even at 1K, man, you know, you don't get a Gibson for 1K anymore. You know, a Gibson Les Paul, you're looking at least $2,300. 20. So if it's listed between 1,900, 23, that's usually the prices. What type of pickups are in that vintage? I believe these were a set of. Trying to remember. I think these are GFS pickups that I put in here. I don't remember which set. It's one of the vintage wines. I think whatever they have that's closest to the 57 classics. But I don't remember what they were called. Sorry. They sound okay. I mean, they're not bad. Dan says, if the neck is set correctly with no fret sprout, probably not a Gibson. Or if the headstock doesn't have a repair on it, it's probably not a Gibson. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Gibsons smell like vanilla, Fenders smell like Teen Spirit. Yeah, exactly. You guys. So Quicksilver says it's reverse here. Sellers are more afraid of buying. One of my posts was taken down because I wrote it in English. So who's taking them down? I bought a Les Paul Classic with from Trology last month. I was confident it was not a fake. How long did it take you to reach 1K subs? I'm struggling and stuck at 450. Dude, it's not easy, man. If you're in it just to get subs, it's going to take a while. It's a good question. If you're, let me put it this way. YouTube has changed their algorithms so that if you're a YouTuber now, you're lucky if you're gonna be getting like, you know, 300-400 views on a video, unless it's something that is trending. So, you know, I can't really tell you how long it will take you to get to 1,000 subs because, you know, it could be the same 20 people watching your videos over and over again. So you have to try and reach a new market, try and get more people to be interested in what you have going. I really don't care. I mean, it's great that people are subscribing to the channel, but my goal is not like, I don't really care. I'm not in it to be like a, you know, a 1 million YouTube content creator like some other people out there, like Rick Beato and other guys like that, where they're constantly pumping out videos. As you can see, I put out videos whenever I feel like it. Otherwise, I would probably be doing this like every day. I mean, I do this because I like it. I do it because, you know, I enjoy sharing with the guys out there. I don't have anything to gain. I'm not out there to, you know, get endorsements or what. I mean, it would be nice, but, you know, it's not what I'm after. For me, I just like gear, and I like talking with you guys, and I like sharing with similar-minded people. And I'm actually flabbergasted that I've gotten so many subscribers as it is, because I don't feel that my content is exactly the most exciting content out there. I'm not like some other people that like to put on a show, you know, whenever they're putting out new content. That's not the goal. It's low key, but you know, I try and give honest opinions on gear, at least from my perspective, and hopefully it helps you guys out, or whoever's interested in watching the videos. You know, that's basically why I do it. But you know, if you're new, it's very difficult, and I think right now, if I'm not mistaken, unless YouTube has changed it, you can't even monetize your videos before you get to 4,000 subscribers, which it's a lot of content, man. Like, you got to put out content like every single day if you want to attract, and it'll be a while. That's the truth. So it depends why you're doing it, and you know, if you create great content, I'm sure it'll happen very quick. But you know, there's no formula, and unfortunately, YouTube changes it all the time. So they make it harder. You know, I put in a lot of time creating videos, and I don't have all that much time. You know, if I had to like calculate how much time I could potentially be doing other things with the time that it takes me to make a video or put together content, or even the live streams and all that. It's a lot of time, dude. You know, you can spend a whole day making a video if it's a good one, and if you want to edit it and get it perfect, and you know, get different angles, and you know, reshoot and whatever, get the sound right, it takes a lot of time. Just being honest. Jeff says, if when you get the Marshall, will you move the Friedman on if the Marshall fits the bill? No, I'm not selling the Friedman. Did I answer that too quick? No, the Friedman is really a different thing. Like, I know the Marshall won't do what the Friedman does, and vice versa. They're two different beasts. The Plexi can actually do clean pretty well, and the Friedman always is a little bit dirty. So you can't really get a super clean sound with the Friedman. That's not why I bought it. I bought the Friedman because of that sound. And the same reason why I like to buy the Marshall, because of that sound. It's like a one-trick pony kind of thing, but it's like a great trick, right? So if you want to get something that can do both clean and dirty, you probably wouldn't necessarily go for that. You probably would go something more towards something that doesn't have a master volume, you know? Oh yeah, Quicksilver says, so when will we see the video about the NUX Duo Time, unless I missed it? No, you didn't miss it. I have it. I think it's back there on that. See that pile of boxes there? Right there? Well, one of them is the Duo Time. It's on my list, man. I got to do that one too. I'm just trying to find time. I guess if I don't do these live Sunday shows, I probably would have more time, right? So maybe that's what I should do. What do you guys think? Quicksilver says, I've been watching Addicted to Gear since the days he posted those classic vibe videos. Oh man, that's probably over 10 years ago now. Wow. Hey, I appreciate it, dude. I remember. I mean, you've commented on countless other videos, I remember. And I appreciate you sticking around. That's really great. Great to hear that. Actually, what's embarrassing is that I was watching some of my early videos and just realized how terrible they were. The sound was bad. The lighting was bad. I mean, some of them I had like cheesy background music, which was extremely annoying. And a lot of you had mentioned that, and I totally agree with you guys. I'm wondering if I should remake some of those videos. There's a couple of them that for sure would benefit from a retake. I don't know. Dave says you are a very good speaker and interesting. Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate those kind words, man. Subscribers are not even the focus. You need views and 4,000 hours watch time. It's tough. Yeah, it is tough, man. You know, if you're doing it to try and make a living at it, it's not easy, man. Like, I don't know, people that I like to watch, like Shane or, you know, other people, I don't know if this is their full-time gig. Like, I don't know if they're making money just through YouTube. If they are, great, fantastic for them. My hats off. You know, it would be great if I could do that, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. There's also the behind the scenes costs. I mean, you know, gear is not cheap. You need laptop, you need software, you need lights, you need a whole bunch of equipment, you need all kinds of stuff to be able to do what you need to do. And that stuff is like, nobody's giving you that stuff. You got to do it yourself. You're financing it on your own, and you got to keep on financing it because, you know, yesterday's camera doesn't look as good as today's camera. Seth says, Tony, you being you is good, authentic. That's why I'm here. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm glad you guys appreciate it because that's why I do it, you know. And when you guys stop tuning in is the day I stop doing it, you know. Cool Tunes Made Easy says, honestly, though, for me, tough for me now to watch anything other than Addicted to Gear. Now, sub to lots. Yeah. I'm sub to a lot too, but I find that the stuff becomes repetitive real quick. Paul says, Tony, you'll be very big eventually because your viewers are permanent because there is no bull and you review things we can afford or things we haven't, that have an investment factor. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. And I hope I could keep that going. I mean, you know, God knows it's not easy to get, you know, new stuff all the time and spend money on that stuff. So that's why I gotta circulate the stuff. You know, a lot of this stuff is going to eventually have to go because I want to keep getting stuff that I can review for you guys as well, things that you're interested in. You know, I can't just keep accumulating. I don't want to be a hoarder. It's a fine line. Have you tried the NuX Tape Core pedal? No, I have not tried the Tape Core. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to do that. Cool Tune says, exactly, Paul, 100%. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, guys. You're making me get all choked up. Cecile says, you can make a living at it if you're a hot chick showing off bikinis. Yes, exactly. There's a couple of women guitarists that have some very provocative outfits while they're playing some licks. Hey, man. You know what? It's their advantage. Unfortunately, I don't have the sex appeal. Sorry. I don't know what I have to do, but that won't work for me, that's for sure. Fat Philosopher says, I'm amazed how Trology makes enough money to buy all those expensive Gibsons every week. I don't know if they buy them. I mean, sometimes they just have like deals with stores, local stores that will hand them guitars to review and whatnot. I'd love to do that. I'd love to be able to help a brand, you know, just to be able to get some gear to review and pass through so I don't have to buy everything and get to try stuff. That would be an awesome, you know, definitely give me an opportunity to see firsthand what I like, you know. The problem with that is that you have to be very diplomatic and then you can't really say that it sucks if it sucks, you know, because you're trying to help out somebody that's trying to sell this stuff. That's sort of why, you know, if you look at Andertons and all that kind of stuff, they rarely say the stuff sucks, even when it does, you know. Clearly, sometimes it clearly does, because they're trying to sell it. So you have to take that with a big grain of salt, and that's why I prefer to go with the guys that don't necessarily have a financial interest in what they're reviewing, or at least have the cojones, the balls, to tell the truth. You know, if the stuff's no good, so just say it's no good, you know, or be as honest as you can. I know one guy definitely making big money, Stevie T. Yeah, man, I'm sure, and he's Canadian too, I think, right? But I was just watching one of his videos just the other day. They're so over the top now that they don't have any like review factor for me that would keep me posted. It's just a question of watching and seeing, like, you know, if he can make me laugh, basically, right? Because he's not really reviewing anything anymore right now. It's like a show based on, you know, his slapstick style of his channel, which is enticing to a lot of people, but I don't really go back that often. Just every once in a while, something will come across my feed that I'll catch and maybe want to watch. Credit cards. Fat Philosopher says people forget to pay off the balance on your credit card. It's more than 30 days. So buy it, make a video, make money off the video, and sell it. Yeah, I don't know, man. That seems like a lot of hassle. Plus you lose, right? As soon as you buy something brand new, it's like taking a car off the lot. You're not going to be able to sell it at the same price that you bought it. So you're losing money right off the bat, right? So that's no good. That won't work for me. The best thing would be like maybe rent some stuff if you can, you know. If you have a store that's willing to lend you some stuff, that's great. But definitely Long and McQuaid won't lend me anything after what I just said. So yeah. Cecile says, how's the Vega Trem working out on the Beretta? Very good. It's actually working out well. Still there. Still on the Beretta. I'm glad I put it in there. You know, like I always say, it's expensive, but it's worth it. I mean, it's really well made. And if I could find another trem that's cheaper, that does the same thing, I'll probably grab one and put it on some other guitars. But I haven't come across something that works as well. If you guys know of any, I'm willing to save money. Let me know. Any thoughts on the Ricochet pedal series? Some demo videos I've watched do not show the series as a worthy investment. So I don't even know what they are, Dave, unfortunately. Sorry, man. I have to look up that brand. I don't know. I couldn't say. What's going on here? I don't know what the Ricochet is. So yeah, if you can maybe explain to me what it is, I'll take a look at it. Bruce says, who says you're not sexy? Oh man. Bruce, you complete me. Rico says, Tony, I agree with the group. Your impartial reviews are refreshing. So hard to tell today who's being influenced with their reviews. Yeah, man. That's the great thing about me not being so popular, is that, you know, you don't necessarily get free stuff. And, you know, if you can, a lot of people that are bigger, they make some great videos, but at the same time, you know, you're either charging people for your videos or you're getting free stuff for your videos. You can usually tell, because these are the videos where they don't really give you too much information. They just present it and you make up your own mind, right? Cool Tunes Made Easy says, honestly, I can't watch those chick with guitars doing stupid licks. The viewers are not guitarists. I'm sure they're the ones can't go to the strip joint because of COVID. Hey man, don't knock it. There's a couple of women guitarists that have gotten a huge following, and some of them have even have gone beyond that, you know, and have actually ended up being quite popular because of it. You know what? If you have it, flaunt it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just a little jealous because I can't really do that. What am I supposed to do, guys? Am I supposed to start like stuffing a sock in my pants or something like that? What am I supposed to do? Tell me how to get more viewers. I don't know. Oh man. Most companies have return policies. Yeah, but that's like not really an honest way of doing it, right? I mean, somebody's gonna have to take the hit eventually, right? So if you return stuff, they're gonna have to sell it as an open box, and a lot of stores do have return policies, but a lot of them have a policy where they'll give you in-store credit, so you're still gonna have to buy something else, right? Quicksilver says no, they do videos of things they sell in the store, which is okay for the most part when they actually do the demo of the product rather than an honest review. I think we're talking about Andertons now. Yeah, well, I mean, they've gotten very popular and good for them. I mean, they're growing their brand. Everybody knows them now, which is fantastic. Trilogy is a Gibson dealer. He buys them for other people, sets them, and ships them. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Thanks for letting me know. Henry says, guys, there are millions of videos on YouTube regarding gear, and we are here with Tony. That proves something, no? Oh man, thanks, Henry. You know what? What I would really like to do is like just expand my inner circle and by doing things with other YouTubers. You know, like I think that's a lot of fun. Like Shane tunes in from time to time. I think I reached out to him to eventually maybe we can do something together. You know, there's a few YouTubers that will tune in from time to time, and you know it's fun. It's fun to do that. It's fun to make some friends and whatnot. The only issue is that a lot of times the hardware doesn't actually work out. I've done videos where I actually try and get somebody in and do a review with me, or you know, participate in the show, and either their internet connection is not great or we end up having some technical difficulties and stuff. That always puts a damper on things. So that's the real thing, the real reason why I don't do it more often, you know. But you know, I've done stuff with Nick in the States. I've done stuff with a few other YouTubers out there as well. And I enjoy it, you know, I enjoy it. And I probably will do it again, but they need to have the time. I need to have the time. It's not always easy to do. Morning, Tony and everybody. I bought my first Telecaster, Fusion. Nice, William. How do you like it, man? I've been eyeing those Telecasters. Where did you order it from? Just curious. Cool Tune says, I once rented a small lunchbox Mesa Boogie amp. Mesa Boogie. I always say Mesa Boogie, but that's just me. Honestly, hated it. Not sure. Maybe I just suck at guitar, but returned it right away. Your thoughts? I think the model was the Transatlantic. Yeah, I remember the Transatlantic. Yeah, I never bought that Mesa. I saw it. I think I even tried it in the store. You know, I've been playing Mesa amps for quite a few years. I think I mentioned, like, I probably went through probably 5 or 6, maybe even more Mesa amps. And I realized, even though I realized kicking and screaming because I want to like the brand, that I'm not a Mesa guy. That I don't really like Mesa amps after all. And I'm a Marshall guy, and there's a difference. The only Mesa amp that I really liked, and the only reason why I really liked it was it was actually the closest one to a Marshall, was the Mesa Electrodyne, because it was a one-channel amp at a master volume. Though it had 3 switchable levels of gain, it had a really nice reverb. The only thing about that amp was that you couldn't get spanky with it. It had more of a round sound, more like a JCM 800 type of thing. But it was a great amplifier. Unfortunately, it weighed just about the same as a bus. You know, it was really, really heavy. built like a tank, but extremely heavy. I eventually ended up selling that amplifier, and I did go back to a couple of other Mesa amps, still trying to like them. And even today, I'm tempted. You know, I look at the new stuff that they come out, and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I gotta try that. The last one I bought was the Triple Crown, which on paper looks like a fantastic amplifier. And it's actually a very good amplifier. It's just not dialed into the sound that I'm looking for. And for anyone else, it would make a fantastic amplifier. I'm telling you, it's great. But not for me. And for me, it's really, give me a plexi with some pedals and I'm happy all day long. So I hope that answers your question. Dave T says, classic whammy in a compact pedal. The Digitac whammy is legendary. Ricochet pitch shift pedal changes that. Instead of a bulky pedal, I think you meant to write, you can control whammy Ricochet with its momentary foot switch. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the Digitech whammy many times. I think quite a few people use that. I never really thought it was something I would need. But yeah, that's cool. I don't really use whammy pedals or wah pedals all that much. A wah pedal is pretty cool to have in your pedal chain. It's always great when you want to like pull a lead and, you know, just give it a little bit more of that wildness to it. Believe it or not, I have a Mick Wah here that I feel terrible about because I've had that pedal for many years now and I still haven't done a review of it. And I've been meaning to do it and it just doesn't happen for whatever reason. But eventually I got to do one of those too. Man, I feel bad. I'm falling behind on my videos. Vox Guitars rock. Nice to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're well. Quicksilver says that's because they are not reviewing products. They are presenting new gear. Big difference. Absolutely. A very big difference. Paul says my blog is up to 427,000. It is because I do not make a cent. If something is crap or a rip, I not only say it, I send them to a similar product that is better and usually cheaper. And that's why, you know, things like that are always going to be something that people are looking for. And keep it going, Paul. Definitely, man. Rico B says Nita Strauss. What about Nita? Take your shirt off. Nah, you don't want to see my boobs. Hire a stripper, backup singer. Yeah, that might be interesting. I wonder what the wife would say. I have to buy online. Returning means shipping cost. Yeah, exactly. If you try and get stuff online, you got to pay for shipping, for sure. Glenn Fricker once showed a Japanese blind boy playing perfect guitar, playing awesome licks with only 30,000 views, and contrasted it with some chick with 3 million views. Yeah. Who could barely play? Dude, don't get me started. I did a video just the other day. I think it's the last one that I put up. I don't know how many of you actually watched it, but anyways, this young guy, his name is Matteo Mancuso. He's from Italy. He blew my socks off, this guy. The way he plays is amazing. He plays with his fingers like this, like a bass player. And he pivots and he does all these things with his fingers and he does this crazy tapping. Anyways, I watched a few of his videos. This guy is like killer. And there's people like Joe Bonamassa talking about him, Steve Vai talking about him, many others, right? He hardly has any viewers. I don't understand it. And exactly what Fat Philosopher said, you know, you have some chick, you know, just basically, you know, resting a boob on the contour here while they're playing some lick, so, and yeah, they get like 1 million views, you know. But again, how many of those views is the same guy going over and over again? Okay, that was me, I'll be honest. But what I'm trying to say here, guys, let's focus. What I'm trying to say is that there's great players out there, but they're not getting the views. So what do you need to do? You need to be like, you know, you need to be funny. You need to be, I guess, entertaining somehow. You need to be a little bit different, you know, and just milk it, you know, as much as you can. It's unfortunate because that's, you know, part of the reason why I did the reaction video for Matteo as well as Alip is because I'm blown away by these players. And whenever there's a few others that I wanted to present as well. Thing is, I know you guys are not necessarily that interested in that because you come here for gear, and maybe that's not for you, or that style is not for you. But I'd like to help them get a little bit more popular if possible, and it's not easy, man. These guys should be famous already. I don't know. And if his videos are only great because of Danish Pete, I guess he is their sex appeal. You know, you laugh, Bruce, but honestly, Danish Pete is probably the only reason I watch Andertons right now. Because, you know, Chappers, meh, whatever. He was okay, but it was always the same. They had some other guy in there briefly, which was a little annoying, in my opinion. But Danish Pete is cool, man. He can play. He can play. And he demos the stuff really well, you know, and he doesn't try to, you know, outplay or outshine anybody or anything like that. And I hope they keep him on because honestly, when he leaves, I don't know if I keep watching it. And he's part of the reason why I'm making this purple Telecaster, you know. Like, why I never even thought I needed a purple Telecaster until I saw his, and I said, man, that thing's actually pretty cool, you know. Not everybody can rock a purple Telecaster. Box Guitars Rock says other YouTube channels should ship you guitars to swap the pickups. Yeah, I agree. Hey, if I had unlimited funds to like pay for shipping, I would say, you guys ship me the guitars. I'll review them, play them on the videos, and ship them back to you. But then that would cost me a fortune in shipping, you know? So that doesn't work. It's not easy, man. If Danish Pete is their eye candy, then their target audience must be the grandmas. You never know, man. Maybe he's a gilf. Tony, no one cares if the online crashes. It's part of the fun. We just chat to each other while it gets back up. The problem is it doesn't always get back up. There was a few of them, you know, crashed once, crashed twice. Eventually, it just didn't. It didn't want to come back. I think it's a question of like just getting the software, the right software. William says, haven't gotten it yet. I ordered from Pitbull Audio. Love those guys. They let me buy online on layaway. It allows me to justify to my wife easier. Okay, guys. Okay, Mesa Nomad makes me so happy. Nomad. I never tried the Nomad. I'm trying to think. What does the Nomad look like even? I think the Mesa amp that I bought for some reason, I don't know why, that I hated the most was the stiletto. It looked great. It had a great like alligator skin Tolex and stuff, and you know the front panel was really nice, but it was just so like harsh, and it was. I understand why they call it the stiletto, because it was so cutting, you know. I think I kept it all of like 2 days and got rid of it. Oh man. Thanks, Vox Guitar Rock. Thank you. He says, everyone, please give Tony a thumbs up. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. What I really like, I mean, really, the way you guys can really help the channel is just giving the, you know, just giving the videos a thumbs up, you know, a like. That's it. I think the algorithm is pretty simple. If YouTube sees people liking your videos, they promote it. If they don't, you know, if people stay on and watch the videos, they promote it. You know, they look at all these stats. I gotta brush up on my Led Zeppelin licks, man. Forgetting everything. I haven't practiced enough. We like Anderton videos because Rabia and Danish Pete can now wow you with skills, but the Chapman will play and then you feel better about your skills. That's the captain, sorry. Well, you know what? The captain is actually not too shabby. He's been playing, I think he's been taking lessons. He's actually playing quite good now. Definitely not up to par with Danish Pete and Rabia. But definitely he's getting there. He's not too shabby. He's got to keep up, right? Jeff says, I had a Mesa 50 caliber plus. It sounded okay. It was heavier than a black hole. It went up in flames at a rehearsal. Really? Really? That's surprising, Jeff. Generally, the Mesa stuff is indestructible from my experience. So it went up in flames, huh? Well, that's too bad. I haven't, I was eyeballing a 50 caliber there for a while, but then I didn't buy one. The little voice in my head was saying, Tony, don't do it. Don't do it. Because I've done it so many times. I actually listened that time. Great guitar playing is an aphrodisiac. Sure is. I can't tell you how many times I've seen like great guitarists and like, I'm telling you, man, like the desk almost lifted. Have you played one of those newer Marshall Studio SV20 something plexi reissue head? Quicksilver, we were talking about that just earlier on. Yeah, definitely. That's the one the Studio Vintage they're called. Yeah, that's the one I want to get. That's the one I want to get. That's the one I'm trying to ask you guys to talk me out of buying. I haven't tried it, but I want to. Trying not to. Yeah, I agree. Krenar, exactly. They did improve. I'm not a big SG fan. That's one guitar I've never owned, is an SG. They are easy to play though. I've played them and it really is easy to play up here on the SGs. It's just the body feels like a paddle to me. They're just too thin, you know. You need a little bit of thickness to the body, and it's just, I don't know. They feel weird to me. Quicksilver says, settle for the Marshall Origin. No, it's not the same. Yeah, I know they do. I've seen it. But it doesn't have the growl of the Plexi. There's something missing in the Origin. I know they were hyping it and they wanted it to be kind of along those lines, but no, I'm gonna wait for the other one. And I think the other one's gonna be cool. It's a great pedal platform, the other one. And that's one of the things that I really like. Like, I'm not a stickler where I need to get all of the gain from the amp. There are some amps that do that really well. The Blackstar does that really well. I don't need pedals in front of the Blackstar. The Dirty Shirley doesn't need pedals, man. You crank that thing, you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be in heaven, you know. But I don't have to do it that way. You know, I don't mind putting pedals in front of it. It's like getting your, you know, you're making your pasta and, you know, you're making your sauce and you want to basically just put in the flavors that you're after that particular day. Sometimes you need a little bit more pepper. Sometimes you need a little bit more salt, you know. But with pedals, you can get it all. So here's another one. Vox Guitars Rock is saying, buy it, the Marshall. Thanks, man. Thanks. As I said, I'm glad you're not my support person for, like, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous or something like that. They'd find me in a dumpster no time soon. I own both and prefer the SG, but feels like the first fret is a mile away from my body. Yeah, so the headstock seems a little bit further out, yeah? I understand, man. I get it, yeah. It does seem like that. There's something about, just something about the SGs. Yeah, I don't like guitars that have 3 humbuckers. The ones that have 3 humbuckers, the middle humbucker is always a pain. Vox Guitar Rock. Tony, yeah, what's up? Tony, you are long past. You are long past needs with your gear, so buy whatever. So I guess you guys are, you're going to explain it to my wife, right? So when you see on the newspaper that YouTuber was found, you know, with a pan in the back of the head in the alley, you guys will come to my rescue when my wife kicks me out of the house. I can come and bunk with one of you guys. Vox says, do you own every guitar in the collage posters on the wall behind you? Yeah, I do actually. Yep, every one. Let's start from this side. Okay, so acoustics. Okay, definitely have like more than one of those. That particular type of Telecaster, I got that one too. This one, well, two of those. That one here, sorry, this way. That guy, where is it? That guy, multiples of those. And the Strat, a few of those too, yeah. So yes, that's why I kind of left it there. It's still appropriate. Strat 5150 says, nail in the coffin, there are new colors coming to Sweetwater for the Marshall SV20 HWH Studio Vintage. I know. There's also a one I was about to buy in a red snakeskin. Because of, why not, you know, 80s, right? But they charge $100 more. I don't really need another one in a snakeskin. Hey, Jeff, thank you. Very nice of you, dude. Jeff says, buy it, 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 etc., etc., etc. Thanks, man. Dude, I appreciate it. Very nice of you, man. If I do buy it, you guys will definitely be the first to know. All right? I promise you. Bruce, Jeff says, no, sorry. Limited edition white elephant grain or limited edition navy blue. I'm probably just going to go for the typical black, honestly. I was tempted by the snakeskin. It's red. But then, like, it wouldn't really match with anything else. And it's a little bit too 80s for me. But I did think about it for a second there. What do you guys think of the red snakeskin? Mike says, I didn't think the KDH said anything negative about Tony. Who's saying something negative about me? Oh, man. If we're going to get demonetized, we might as well go all the way, right? That's what I say. You need an Explorer, RD Artist, and Firebird to complete the lineup. Maybe a proper Fender Stratocaster. I have a Fender Stratocaster. I have a couple of them. But then I would have to like add to the wall art behind me. So that would be a pain. Tony, the press will say man found dead impaled with a guitar amplifier. Yeah, something like that. Or head bashed in by a guitar amplifier. I wonder if it's going to give Marshall a little bit more advertisement. My headstone would say something like, I told you not to buy another amplifier. Strat 5150 says, all $1,399 right now. That's where? Not in Canada. Canada, it's $100 more, plus another $100 for the Tolex, if you want to get something custom. Buy two, yeah. Stereo. Now we're talking. Marshall has raised all of their prices by $100. Yeah. Last 6 months on their signature lines. Yeah, and it's coming, man. I think others are going to be doing that too. Strat 5150 likes the white. I'm not a big fan of white. I once had I once had my Marshall JCM 800 was orange. I recovered it. I shouldn't have, because that one was actually going to be worth more. I recovered it to black Tolex, then I sold it. Which, it was pretty stupid of me, because I think that was like a limited edition. What do I know, right? You got a shout out on KHD's YouTube channel about the Alip reaction video. I don't even know who KDH is. Should I be worried? Should I be talking about this? Tell me who KDH is and I'll check him out. Addicted to Gear, he was trying to uncover why they have exploded. Yeah, God only knows. I guess, you know, he's getting his 15 minutes of fame right now and everybody is talking about him, I guess. I really don't know. Vox Guitars Rock says, can't get the elephant skin as then there would be the elephant in the room. Yeah. Standard tuning because, yeah, it's painted. But Brown Sugar definitely sounds best in the right tuning. Not a Stratocaster, but a Starcaster. Oh yeah, the Starcaster. Fender's ES335 version. Currently, Squier makes them. Yeah, the one with the, is it that the one with the curved, the funny curved headstock? Is that the one we're talking about? I think that's the one we're talking about, right? Squier makes some good stuff, man. I'm not gonna knock Squier. I mean, oh, KDH is the guy who built his YouTube channel by trashing Rob Chapman and Glenn Frick. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I think I watched that video. That's about it. I should really learn these licks. Okay, any one of us on here today who hasn't looked up an SV20H while we've been online must have one already. Come on, guys, fess up. Yeah, exactly. Who's got one? That's the thing I don't understand about these amps. It's like they've been out for 2 years. Why are they not more popular? Everybody likes the Marshall sound. Everybody, you know, that I know, all these, you know, guitarists around my age always say how great they sounded in the past. How come nobody has one of these these guitar amplifiers, you know? I don't get it. If there's one of you that has it, let me know. I need to know. Mike says nothing to worry about. KDH is just an oddball guitar YouTuber. His claim to fame is doing an exposed video about Rob Chapman that blew up. Dan says he already has one. So Dan, along with the matching cabinet. Okay, Dan, come on, talk to me, buddy. So Dan, tell me, okay, what amps did you already have before you bought this Marshall? Why did you buy the Marshall? How long have you had it? And what do you typically play? I don't know. Henry's not. Dan is not piping in. What's going on, Dan? Don't be shy. I don't know. Dan doesn't want to tell us. He's all hush hush. Come on, Dan. Don't tease me like that. Henry says French cooking, of course. Bye all friends, and again bravo to Tony. Thank you, Henry. Take it easy. See you soon, buddy. Quicksilver says matching cabinet equal Harley Benton 1x12 vintage 30. Yeah, those are great cabinets. From what I understand, they're actually not that expensive, and they do have the vintage 30 in there. Apparently, they're made quite good, because a lot of times these underpriced cabinets are usually made of press wood or whatever particle board. Those are not really good. You want the best would be to have like a marine grade plywood. That would be the best if you can get those. I don't know. I think Dan left. He's not answering my question. Oh well. Mike says, I think the Marshall Studio Series is just slightly overpriced for the small tube head market. I would love to own one, but look at the price compared to the Fender Bassbreaker 15. Yeah, but then again, I did have the Bassbreaker 15, and it doesn't, I mean, it gets close to the Marshall thing, but it doesn't have the same Marshall vibe. It's doing its own thing. And don't get me wrong, I think the Bassbreaker 15 is probably one of the nicest in the line, besides the 30R. But the 30 might be a little bit too much power. But it does have the switchable channels, the 30R, where the Bassbreaker 15 has a switchable gain, but you can't switch it with the foot switch. So that's the difference, right? So it does have a little bit more to offer in terms of features, because the Marshall doesn't have any of those, right? So yeah, I can see why people would gravitate towards the Bassbreaker, and I regret selling the Bassbreaker. Plus the Bassbreaker does have the reverb on it, and it's a pretty nice sounding reverb. And when I sold it, I got immediate seller's remorse. So eventually, who knows? If I can find a 30R, I might actually end up taking a look at that one. But it didn't have exactly that Marshall sound. It did sound good, and it had a lot of bottom to it, but it's not the same. But I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, Mike. I hear you, man. All right, Dan, there you are. All right, Dan, answer my questions, please. Dan says, have a Princeton. Nice. Obviously, everybody needs a Princeton. A deluxe reverb. Everybody needs a deluxe reverb. A Vox AC30. Everybody needs one of those. I don't have one yet. The EVH EL34. Nice. Vintage is perfect for getting that classic rock grit. Saturates very well even at the low wattage setting. Okay. And what do you play more? What do you usually play more out of that nice collection of amplifiers, Dan? because they all sound great. I mean, from what you're saying here, every single one of those amps would be a pleasure to play through. And why did you choose to get another one when you already had the EVH there? For more of that, because I'm looking at the Marshall also as a clean foundation to add pedals to, you know. Yeah, man, show number 56. I can't believe it either. And it's a long one. I've been on for what, 2 hours now. I've been blabbing. I gotta get off soon, guys. It's 12:30. I know the KDH guy. He's a teddy bear. Not a tough guy at all. He never thought anyone would even watch his video. He ended between a rock and a hard place and made it worse by defending himself. Sometimes it's better not to say anything, right? Harley Benton cabinets are a great quality and value, but too expensive to ship to the US. Shipping costs almost as much as the cabinet. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people are enticed by those initial prices, and then they don't realize that they're going to get side swiped by the duties and the handling and the VST and all that kind of stuff. Tenetrep says, love my Epi 339 P90 Pro. You know what I saw recently, guys, that had me looking a little bit closer to another PRS. The PRS that I have hanging here, the single cut semi-hollow. Well, I saw one that was almost identical, except it wasn't the semi-hollow and it had P90s on it. The first time I see P90s on a PRS like that with the wraparound bridge, I did approach the seller to see if he'd be interested in a trade for something, but he really was only after cash, and I didn't want to spend more money on that. But if I could have worked out a deal, I would have been happy. The P90s are great. I like the P90s. And the thing is, even if you don't like the cream cover P90s, you can actually put in chrome covers now that look nicer, in my opinion. Hey, Kim. How are you? EVH is more of a supercharged JCM. Play a lot of AC/DC, Maiden, Hendrix, and guitar-based alternative rock from the 80s. Henceforth, the variety. Yeah, it makes sense. I get it. I've tried the EVH. I liked it a lot. But I felt like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Plexi would offer a little bit more variation because of the clean platform, the clean side of things. Because you can get pretty clean with that, with a Strat too, right? Kim, did any of you try the Starfire from Guild? No, not yet. It's creating a lot of buzz, though. I think a lot of people are interested in seeing that and hearing that. I haven't seen it, though. I haven't really had an opportunity to step into a guitar shop recently, so I guess we're gonna have to wait, you know. Can the Marshall stay clean loud? Yeah, that's the thing. How much headroom does it have? From what I've heard, it starts to get a little bit dirty further up. Actually, sorry, scratch that. From what I heard is that it runs a little hot, so it does break up rather sooner than later. But if you get it rebiased and you bias it a little cooler, it will probably break up a little bit later. But maybe Dan could clarify that for me. Strat 5150 says, I have a Seymour Duncan Fat Cat P90 in my Agile LP, and they are outstanding. I like the P90s, man. I'm gravitating towards P90s now. Ever since I got the gold top from Harley Benton, I've been kind of gravitating towards P90s. I've had an itch for a gold top Les Paul for a while, but I didn't want to dish out the money, so I got a Harley Benton version of it, and it's fine. Bruce says, I have a Gibson ES339 and love it, but got rid of it when the top started delaminating around the F-holes. Gibson quality issue strikes again. Wow. Really? Was it a question of humidity, or maybe where you were storing the guitar that caused that to happen? I never experienced that. This one seems fine. Odd that you can get, brands like Vintage to not have those problems. And big companies like Gibson are still having those issues. Tenant Trap is asking me if I'm in a band. Yeah, I am in a band. I'm not a professional musician. I don't play to live, but I enjoy playing with a band. I posted a video on my channel of us playing. I think it was Bad Case of Loving You, if I'm not mistaken. That was done spur of the moment, recorded on a phone, kind of like a one take type of deal. But it's on my channel. If you want to watch it, you can see that. Dan says, Jeff, yes, by jumping the inputs, you can mix the high treble and normal accordingly. Yeah, but how quickly does it break up, Dan? Like if you play, let's say you jumper the channels and you play and you raise the volume, at what point are you going to start hearing hair on the notes? When you get to like what number on the volume dial? Paul says the P90 chrome covers kill a lot of noise, from scary to not worse than a Strat. Yeah, I should try that, eh? I should try that, because they do tend to be noisy. I wonder if you can actually take like a plastic cream covered P90 cover and cover the inside of it with copper shielding. I never tried that. I do have some copper shielding. I should actually try that as a mod to see whether or not the noise would go away. You're making me think of something, Paul. I probably would change the sound too a little bit. Probably would change the sound. Would be an interesting experiment. Vox Guitars Rock says, I have Guitar Fetish mean 90s in a Rondo Music Shadow Pro Les Paul clone. They sound great. And chrome humbucker size. Just get a noise gate. Noise gates. That's on my list. Somebody trying to text me during my show? Hope not. So I think, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I've been yapping. I think this is the longest show I've done so far. I've been 2 hours and 40 minutes yapping, and I only intended to go for an hour. So let me just answer a few last questions. If anybody has anything you want to ask, shoot. Ask now or forever hold your peace, or at least until next Sunday. What do we have here? Let's see. Dan says, once you hit past 6, it starts to break up on a Les Paul. Have to drive it a little more on a Strat. That's pretty good. 6 is loud. So I think that would be perfect. You guys are convincing me. Bruce says, I had a 1971 or so US made in Brooklyn Guild Starfire V in emerald green. My first new high-end guitar. Sorry I ever sold. Oh man. You sold it. Only about $350 back then with a hard shell case. With a case. Cheers. That breaks my heart, man. That does break my heart. But a lot of us have done, silly things in the past. I've done it too. So live and learn, right? Tenetrep says, my Katana Artist has a nice built-in noise gate. Yeah. And it comes in handy, I'm sure. Dan Smith says, thanks, Tony. Have a great week. Thanks for the input, Dan. Hey, if I get it, I'll let you know. We'll be Plexi Brothers. Vox Guitar says, thanks, Tony. Enjoyed it a lot. Thank you for tuning in. Dan of New Jersey, great show. Thank you, brother. All right, so I guess that's it, guys. I'm going to have to wrap it up and get the day underway. But I appreciate every single one of you tuning in today. I really do enjoy looking, I enjoy these. I look forward to these Sunday shows. I really do. You guys have become part of my family now, right? I mean, Kitties of Doom says, yes, the regrets of selling gear. We've all done it. We've all done it. Yes, we have. Bruce says, I actually traded for a gold top Les Paul Deluxe. Well, that's not too bad. Do you still have the gold top? Or did you sell that one too? William says, I just bought the EH noise gate on Reverb for about 40 bones. How do you like it? I was eyeing that one. It's not too expensive, so I was eyeing it for that reason. But how do you like it? Is it really working well? Jeff says, you guys are convincing me. Tony getting his blame list already. Hey, if I go down, you guys come down with me. You know how it is, right? I have proof. I mean, I could show the wife the video. It's video evidence right there. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for tuning in. Exactly, Jeff. Fellow enablers. I count on you guys, All right, guys. Have a fantastic Sunday. Stay safe. Looking forward to doing this again next Sunday with you guys. Probably won't be as long. It's not going to be almost 3 hours long. Let's see how long YouTube will take to upload this video. But looking forward to the next one, guys. Number 57 coming up next Sunday. So tune in next Sunday, same time, 10 a.m., same place, Addicted to Gear channel. Bring all your gear questions with you, and we'll have another hour's worth of chit chat and fun gear talk aligned for next weekend. All right, guys. See you soon.